when you fly, you feel something, you're controlling it, something you maneuvering it. It listens to you, it works with you. And then you see somebody else's kite there, you get jealous. You want to cut it.
The difference in the kites in the bamboo, in the strength of the bamboo. If they are
As a child in Pakistan, Adnan Manawar learned to fight kites from his uncles in Lahore. Years after immigrating to the United States, Manawar decided to continue the tradition in New York. In 1995, Manawar flew a kite in Fresh Meadows Park for the first time in a long while.
that was a really, really exciting moment. And that's where I decided that I'm gonna start and import more kites and call more people in. And thus I put an ad in the newspaper so people will start coming in Fresh Meadow Park and flying kites. Right now we are in my garage in Long Island, in my house, where I hold all my kites. The stock that I have for New York kite flyers. I have different brands with different kite makers that I brought all from Pakistan. They are shipped from there. I have about 3,000 kites right now in storage. If you are here, if you are downstairs. The younger kids are, because it's a good time because we brought all the kids in the park, so they, instead of doing other activities, they stay close to the family and learn about the kite flying and the tradition, back home tradition bring them in. I want to continue that here also in the United States. That's why I already start teaching my kids. I had a great response. At that time, I put 800 number also on it. So a lot of people started making calls. And at one point, we have more than 100 players.
The New York Kite Fighters fought in Queens for more than a decade. But in 2009, a family brought a lawsuit against the city after their 12-year-old son was injured by a razor-sharp kite thread while playing near Fresh Meadows Park. The family blamed city officials for not regulating the kite fighters. After increasing complaints about the kite string and the park's proximity to the airport, Manawar relocated his team and began fighting at larger parks in Brooklyn and Long Island.
It's started in China. And from China, it came into, it's called Hindustan at that time, before 1947. There was no Pakistan and India, it was one country. It came to India. And this is the kite that we fly here. It's called in our language is patang. And these are not just flying kites, these are fighter kites. This is a paper kite. And there's a bamboo. There's one straight bamboo goes down, and it's called guz in our language. And this is this other bamboo that goes this way is called chati of the patang in our language. And this bamboo is called mateen, and this is called pandi in our language. There's two teams, and we try to fight with each other and try to cut each other's kite. That's what we do.
On weekend mornings, the kite fighters will check weather and wind reports and decide if it's a good day to compete. They choose a park to meet up at and fight kites until sundown. Pir Wajid Ali Shah met Manawar at Fresh Meadows Park in 1995, but the two fight on opposite teams. For several years, both Manawar and Shah have organized popular kite festivals, known as Basant, in Lahore, Pakistan, until kite fighting was outlawed there in 2005.
It's very tricky business of kite flying when you go for fighting. Little mistake, your kite is gone. It's at the second, at the tip of second. If you made a mistake, it's gone. It's so dangerous. And its technique, you have to look at the airspeed. What is the speed of the air that you have to fly? What is the strength? So when you see the speed, almost speed, you test your kite, how much strength that kite needs, the thread especially. You cannot just go fly anything and do it whichever way, no, you can't. You have to learn, and how you learn? With the practice. You cannot do it just like that. So practice makes it perfect, and even perfect people, their kite get cut.
The object of kite fighting is simple. Win the match by cutting the thread of your opponent's kite. Using a combination of skill and luck, fighters use a sharp thread to maneuver their kites. The thread, which looks like any other cotton kite string, is actually coated in a finely ground glass. When fighters are ready to compete, they release their kites several hundred meters in the air. When their kites reach the same height, they exchange a glance and begin the fight. Each fighter uses his own pull and release string technique to maneuver his kite. Releasing the string causes the kite to glide off balance, left and then right. Pulling on the string against the wind causes the kite to shoot in the direction it's gliding. A good fighter knows how to feel his kite's resistance in the wind while anticipating his opponent's next move. Patience and timing are everything. Ayub Siddiqui immigrated from Karachi, Pakistan with his family in 2003, and his passion for kite fighting has only grown since moving to New York. Recently, Siddiqui has organized several local events modeled after the Kite Festival in Lahore. He hopes to bring other young Pakistanis together in New York to preserve a tradition now outlawed in his home country.
It took me like a year to find a people over here, because I was flying kite with my brothers near my house park. I didn't know there was people kite flying, because they were in the underground kite flying. They wasn't open it. They were scared to bring other people. They bring other people. They be like, they're gonna leave the strings kites on the ground. That's gonna take the wrong way, and they will ban from the park. They won't able to fly kite. So they were careful for it that way. When I started doing the planning for the event for the Basan, then they're calling me and then they're asking me, "Are you guys doing Basan?" I'm like, "Yeah, we are doing it." That's how I know more people about it, and then we get the group of it, which is now Brooklyn Kites.
Nobody told me there was a kite flying games over here every Sunday. So I get in touch with Ayub, I add him on Facebook. He's the one who introduced me to everybody. These things makes you relax. These things, you can take out the stress. Now in back home, in Pakistan, you can't do no flying kites over there. They just ban everything.
When you play any kind of sports, it takes you away from bad things to do. You have certain hours in a day. Either you can spend to do something better or bad. These young kids, instead of going and smoke and drink, if they come into the park, they know they have to fly kite and it's competition. So it takes you away from the things that they can get from the streets.
I'm new to this. Like sometimes I don't know how to let the kite go and like pull it down to a certain speed and altitude and stuff like that. So it's kind of difficult for me right now, but I'm still learning. You're learning new techniques from the older people and learning new stuff from them. It is actually fun. And it's also like you could do something with your kids and hang out with your family and stuff, do that. It's not like a one-man sport.
We are actually preserving this because of the next generation, new generation that are growing up here, so they can also know this sport. So the tradition doesn't die. That tradition that is coming from years and years in our country shouldn't be die.